Throughout Latin America, the salsa is one of the most popular dances. It's a cultural celebration rooted in African, Caribbean, and Latin traditions passed down through generations. If you'd like to learn, you can start for free with our first guest this morning. For her, becoming a salsa dancer felt inevitable. Both of her parents were dancers, and her mom even danced throughout her pregnancy. Yayita Finín is the founder and director of Eleda Dance Company, a new Afrocentric salsa company in Houston, and she'll be at Discovery Green's Park After Dark event tonight, but she joins us now. Good morning.
Good morning.
I love this. I love this. I love this. Okay, the name Finín. What's in a name? Everything's in a name in this case.
Yes. My great-grandmother, her name was Fidelina, and our nickname for her was Finín. She saved my life when I was about 2 years old in a fire. And so to honor her, every time I go on stage, I ask to make sure that my company name has to resonate with her, my professional name has to resonate with her. So we chose Yayita Finín, so I always have her with me through everything.
You have her with you in more ways than one. You mentioned the fire. One of the first things that people see when they look at you is, first of all, that beautiful smile and that wonderful hair. I love that hair, right? But they also see the scars that you have on your arms. And you can look at those in different ways. It can be a reminder of the tragedy that happened, or it can be a reminder of how you're the phoenix arose from those ashes.
Yes, absolutely. I definitely carry her with me. It took a while to kind of get through that, but my mother was very helpful in reminding me of my grandmother. She gave me really good tough love and like, no, scars are kind of proof of that love, and you carry that with you and you get to see it every single day.
Yeah, all right. Dancing, as we mentioned earlier, both your parents, it is in your blood. And also in your blood is kind of so Houston, that blend of cultures, that blend of races, that blend of ethnicities. Tell us what you are.
Yes, so my father is a black man from Puerto Rico, raised by a New York woman, and an amazing father. My mother is Puerto Rican, Filipino, Mexican, born and raised in Houston, Texas.
Yeah. And dancing was always a part of their lives growing up.
Absolutely.
Even before they met each other. Yes. And then your mom danced throughout your pregnancy. In fact, you were almost delivered on the dance floor.
Yes.
Yeah, what happened?
Yes, well, she went into labor in the middle of a competition while she was performing with my father, and well, she ended up in the hospital with the entire club inside of the waiting room. And so that's definitely a story for the years that everybody has remembered of, I heard this, I heard that. So it's very interesting.
And you heard all of it growing up, all around you, your favorite memories of a child and family, and how dance connects family. Share some of those with us.
I think to raise a family in general, everybody's always talking about it takes a village. It's not just mom and dad. And I'm very fortunate that my village were the percussionists, they were the salsa singers, they were the dancers, and they were the people that they practiced with. These were my aunts and my uncles and my godparents and the family that we kind of cultivated together and that I got to grow up with. And thanks to those connections and that unintentional network of our village, that's what allowed me to start to flourish into a dance community later on.
Yeah. I used to spend summers in Venezuela, and we would go to the poorest sections of town, and they had such joy, and that joy came from getting together and dancing. We talk a lot about, and especially in Houston, how food brings people together, and it does around the table, but dancing together also does. And it wasn't necessarily that you had a partner to dance with. If you showed up on the dance floor, there'd be somebody you'd be dancing with, right? And you could also just dance by yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. And all right, so you started dancing around 14 years old.
Yes.
What took you so long? You're probably moving around before 14.
Yes, we moved around so much, but I never actually got to witness my parents dancing with each other. They're not with each other. They have their own marriages. But that was the first time I got to see them actually perform with each other on accident. Amazing dancer in Houston kind of forced them to freestyle, and I just so happened to be there. First and last time I ever saw it, the most inspiring thing. At that point, I was like, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. No ifs or buts about it. Meanwhile, the rest of the world was like, of course we knew before you knew that there was no way that you weren't going to dance.
Yeah, and so that meant getting trained, because I mean, a lot of us think we can dance, and then you see like a real dancer, you go, oh, okay, right.
Oh, I thought I could dance,
and
then
the
I walked
freestyle
into
and stuff. I'm just like, do that type of thing. But then you decided to get trained, and you worked your way up in the company that you learned from.
Yeah, so within about a 10-year span, I went in, started learning, realized I wasn't really great, started training, became an instructor, started assisting classes, directing, choreographing, and everything started growing from there. After about 10 years, we parted ways cordially. They're a great mentor to me, have been very supportive.
Yeah, because you learned from one of the best in the business.
Yes, absolutely. And then about a year and a half into a different partnership, I decided maybe there was a shift in life, maybe I should walk away from dancing. And I had already had a team at the point, and my team was so supportive of the life events that were happening.
Yeah. And what were those life events? That moment where you had to come to the crux of, do I continue with my dream, or do I let my life events crush that dream?
Family issues. So my mother was very ill for a while, and she needed a lot of help. She had an emergency hysterectomy, and I felt like I was losing out on so many family issues that I've always regretted missing family to be able to go and work, but I've never felt like I missed out on work to be able to see my family. I never regretted the time with my family.
Yeah, because dance for you still connects you with your family.
Exactly.
But you're also a reminder of sometimes you might need to take a break in life.
Yes.
It doesn't mean you can't continue doing, because you're still young. You can do so many things. All right, Eleda Dance Company. Take us behind that name.
Yeah, so Eleda, in my faith, it points to the creation, the creator, and also the divinity of things, but in a different language or an extension of that language. It also means soul. My mother's name is Alma, which means soul, and so this is kind of homage to my mother. So I have my great-grandmother with me in my name, and then in the company, every time everybody wears a company t-shirt, they have my mother on them.
Oh, look at y'all. Y'all getting it right there. All right. You want people to culturally respect salsa, preserve history and culture, as we said a couple of times. When you educate your students, you don't just educate them on the moves, but the history behind salsa. And this is not a ballroom dance. A lot of people will mistake it. If you're dressed up, we all go, oh, ballroom dancing.
Exactly.
No, this is not ballroom dancing.
It's not ballroom dancing. We try to keep it with the streets, keep it people educated about the history and the culture, very, very Afrocentric, and people respect it so much in our dance community, which is amazing. And so we really want to showcase that in our company by showing more Black men and women, so that we can, in case anybody feels uncomfortable and somebody asks us why, we can continue a conversation with that curiosity, and we can let you know just how Black salsa is.
Well, it's funny because when you talk about it, when you go south of Mexico in particular, if you're in the Caribbean, Central or South America, a lot of people are surprised when they go for the first time. They go, we saw lots of Black people there. Well, it is kind of the melting pot of where Africa, Europe, and indigenous people all kind of come together, right? So you get that mixture there. And as we were talking before the show, even a lot of Asians are there as well.
Exactly.
So it is such a great melting pot. All right, talk about the classes. You can show up not knowing at all how to dance.
Absolutely anything.
Who can join?
Yes, anybody can join our classes. Anytime we have workshops, classes, publicly, anybody is allowed to come in and take training classes, private lessons, you name it.
Yeah, all kinds of benefits. It boosts your confidence. A great way to meet people. You can learn a new skill. Great cardio exercise without getting boring at all. It's also fun. All right, this month at Discovery Green, people can get a chance to get introduced to salsa for free.
Yes, absolutely. So tonight between 7 and 10 p.m., we're offering salsa class at Park in the Dark. You don't have a partner, that's fine. You don't need a partner. You can come in and dance and get jiggy with us, and we'll also be back there on the 26th.
Okay, warning, you may show up without a partner, you might leave with one. All right. Okay, Discovery Green Summer Series. This is so much fun. If you have not been, Park After Dark happens every Thursday. Again, tonight is salsa night. Eleda Dance Company will teach a beginner-friendly class. That's from 7 to 10 p.m. as she mentioned. If you can't go tonight, they'll be back at Discovery Green on June 26th. This is free to attend, but if you want to continue with lessons, you can sign up for classes. To connect with Eleda Dance Company, visit greatdayhouston.com, and we will make sure that we connect you there. Before we go to break, Eleda Dance Company has the moves you can learn when you attend those classes and workshops. Sway away.